Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I want to chat with you guys a little bit about, something that people don't seem to understand or think about as they get more advanced, and that's that your progress shouldn't be fast as far as the weight that you add to the bar as you get more advanced. Okay. People have these ideas once they've run a successful novice linear program to where they're able to add weight to the bar every single week. Right? They get these ideas from that they honestly think that sort of progress should be normal forever. And before I get into some of that, what people need to think about is if your progress just slowed down a little bit, just slow down a little bit, do the math on this. Yeah, when you're a novice and you're adding 5 pounds to all your lifts or more every single week, even if that was 50% of that was sustainable, think about how strong you would be on everything within a few years. So what do you mean? Let's say you could put 5 pounds on the bar every 2 weeks. Say on your sets of 10 on your bench press, right? Or your sets of 5. That's not practical beyond even the last half of the first year. It's just simply not going to happen. Why? Because how much weight is that? 5 pounds every 2? Let's say you only do it a little less. 20 times a year you add 5 pounds. Okay, so let's say, at the end of that first year you can do 10 reps of 135 on the bench, and then you continue to add 5 pounds. If that a little bit less than half that rate, that's 100 pounds a year. Okay, so within 3 years, let's add 300 to that. 435 pounds for sets of 10. How many people on the face of the earth can do 10 reps of 435? See anybody doing it 4 years into training? Come on. It's insane. Nobody's doing that. The number of people who can do 10 reps with that, in the world, you can probably count on one hand who can do legit reps with that. Okay, that might be an exaggeration. There's more than that. There might be 20 guys in the whole world who can do that. 25, all right, whatever. Whatever that number is. It's probably higher. But I digress. Back over to the point. None of them have done it in that time frame. So that's the problem. People really think that you're going to put 5 pounds, and that's on a big lift, let alone your smaller movements. I mean, realistically, does anyone think that they're going to add weight to the bar every 2 or 3 weeks after they've been training a couple years to any exercise? For any period of time? No. So why are people thinking that that's the rate that they need to progress at? Here's what I would say. If you only add 5 pounds to an exercise every 4 or 6 months for your rep work, and you've been training a few years, do you not realize that's good progress? That's evidence of muscle growth. And what people need to understand is that's going to happen by default. Your ability to do that's going to just go up automatically. We accept that slow progress happens. Okay? If there's a general upward trend, you're gaining muscle, no matter how small. But people jump into this, and I get this with clients sometimes. Like, I haven't been able to add any weight to the bar for my 10 rep sets for weeks. 6 weeks, 8 weeks, it's not gotten any stronger. And I'm like, how many years you been training, bro? Coaches change that stuff because of psychological reasons, because the client feels like, the lifter feels like they should be making progress on lifts, so you just change lifts on them. All right, take them to a new exercise so that they can actually add 5 or 10 pounds to it over a short period of time, a few weeks. Then the person feels like they're making progress again. But did they make any more progress? Meaning, if I go from one chest or tricep exercise or hamstring exercise to another, and you're able to add weight due to learning a new motor pattern, do you really think you gained muscle any faster than if you had done the same number of hard sets with the old weight, just getting real close to failure? You're working hard. You're stimulating muscle growth. Unless you feel like your volumes are too low for you to get any stimulus, which is probably not the case unless you're only doing 1 or 2 sets. But if you're doing, more than 5 sets for a muscle a week, probably not the case. What if you're doing 10 sets? 10, 12 sets? Yeah, you're absolutely guaranteed getting enough volume unless you were just really not training very hard. You're just leaving 5 reps in the tank on every set. In which case, that would explain it. Do you really think that you're not stimulating muscle growth? So why are you not gaining? Are you eating enough? Are you sleeping enough? Are you giving it enough time? Because we come back over to that point. You've been training a few years. How fast you really think you're gaining muscle? I want that one to sink in. Think about this for a moment. If you've been lifting weights for 4 years already, training actually decently and correctly, do you honestly think you are ever going to put on 5 full pounds of muscle in a year? Completely clean? Do you really think that's going to happen? How big would people be if they could do that? My God, they'd be monsters. If you could put 5 pounds of muscle on every year after you finish your new gains, start thinking about that. What is that plotted over about 6 years? That's 30 pounds of muscle. Anyone actually think that's realistic? That you're going to finish out your new, assuming you're not really tall, like big tall guys can put more total muscle on. Assuming you're not tall, you finish your new games, you trained really hard for a couple years. You milked out the new gains. Do you think you're ever going to put on another 30 pounds of muscle beyond that? After you've already got a size base, you really think that's going to happen? Especially in, say, 6 years? No. So what are you realistically going to gain? A pound of muscle? A couple pounds? Okay. Well, how much do you think your lifts are going to go up with a pound of muscle? Especially if it's spread through your whole body. Like obviously your squat and deadlift are going to have the most growth, things like that. But realistically, for a lot of your lifts, that's, 5, 6 pounds added for your rep work. Right? A pound of muscle. Like if your bench sets and your pull-ups go up all by 5 pounds in that time and say some of your lower body lifts like your squatting goes up 10, that's about right for a pound, maybe a little more of muscle growth. So how fast should you be progressing? Are you really think you're going to put 5 pounds on all these lifts every 3 or 4 weeks? You really think that's going to happen? And if you don't, have you failed? No. You might pick up a rep here or there, like maybe your 10 rep set you can squeeze out 11. Like you might do that in a few weeks. And that's reasonable. But people need to be realistic about that. You're not stalled. It's just that's how long it takes to grow muscle tissue. It's normal. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.